I know it's awkward, right? But you don't have to call me Dad. Yet.
I wanted to do a quick video talking about the most recent episode of Better Call Saul and how it connects to everything that has come before it. To catch you up, in case you don't know, Better Call Saul is a story of two halves. One, the colourful, pre-Breaking Bad era, and two, the black and white life of Gene, Cinnabon manager at a strip mall. Usually, the black and white scenes only feature at the beginning of each season, but this is the first episode fully set in that time period. Very quickly, if you could be so kind to like and subscribe, it would mean a lot. You can always unsubscribe at a later date if you don't like what I'm posting.
Is this a good or a bad thing?
This channel is very good and you should definitely subscribe.
Anyway, let's get on with the show. This episode was centered around Jeff, the cab driver from season 5 who recognized Gene and made him say,
Better call Saul.
It is possibly the most tense 50 minutes of television that I have ever seen, but I'm sure there are hundreds of videos out there already discussing how this was accomplished. We're not going to do that. We're here to talk about how this episode managed to wrap up all the previous black and white scenes that preceded it. We start with Gene making Cinnabons, reminiscent of him doing this in season 1. When we were first introduced to Gene, Saul's alter ego, or should I say Jimmy's alter ego. In the original scene, Gene thinks that somebody recognizes him and panics, only for it to be revealed that it is just a man going to his family. It's quite cool how this is mirrored in the episode, with Gene getting in between Jeff and his family before anything bad can happen. He has learned to get ahead of things.
Objection! Oh, Mr. Goodman, really?
You didn't recognize him either, Your Honor.
We then get references to season 2, where Gene was taking out the trash and ended up getting locked in the room overnight. We see him taking out the trash in the same way, and the shot of the clock is reused to show that he's on schedule. In season 2, this clock was used to show that he had been in the room overnight, having not wanted to use the emergency exit because it would have contacted the police, and would have got him unwanted attention. We also see the SG was here, which Gene carved into the wall whilst he was locked up there. The mall security guard then brings up a moment we saw in season 3, where Gene witnessed a shoplifter hiding in a photo booth. In the clip, Gene ratted on the guy because he was terrified of having to deal with a police officer, similar to how he didn't want to draw attention to himself in season 2. However, the lawyer inside of him could not be contained. He yelled at the thief,
Say nothing, you understand? Get a lawyer!
When Gene knocks on the security room, that very same guard answers the door and mentions that he is the get a lawyer guy.
Yeah, I remember you.
Get a lawyer!
There is some animosity between them here, but over a few months of Gene visiting every Saturday, they grew closer, with Gene wishing him luck for his daughter's spelling bee, and then playing air football together. Gene wanted to get closer to the guard so that he could figure out how long they could be distracted for. To do this, he used the gift of Cinnabons to invite himself into the control room.
Are you kidding me? Imagine what Tom would have said.
Damn, Jerry! You jumped in a creek for a burrito? What'd you do for a Klondike bar? Kill your wife?
On the first visit, Gene says that they are a gift, to thank them for calling the ambulance when he had a heart attack in season 4. Did he have a heart attack or did he just faint? I can't remember. And why did he do all this? Well, it was to help Jeff pull off a heist. The same Jeff who approached him in the season 5 Gene scene. Hey, that rhymes. And yeah, that is the same guy as the one from season 5. Personally, I preferred the original Jeff because he was scarier than this one, but it had to be done. The actor landed a lead role in We Own This City, and you understand why he couldn't pass her up. We also saw the air freshener from season 5 that is still on Jeff's rearview mirror. The air freshener also made an appearance in colour in another episode with Kim holding it up in court. Bob Odenkirk seemed surprised by this in a recent interview.
Is it really the same air freshener?
I bet it is.
I had no
Are you
idea.
holding that air freshener? I gotta watch this show.
I thought it was fantastic how the writers managed to tie up all the Gene stories together in a nice bow. It means that every black and white scene we have had has been shown to us intentionally. The only thing that upsets the timeline is the fact that Jeff has a different face. Maybe he's a Time Lord or something, who knows. Someone on Reddit summed up my thoughts on why I think Jeff acted so differently in this episode compared to the previous appearance, so I'll read that for you. So I've noticed that the criticism of Pat Healy's portrayal of Jeff is focused on the fact that he behaves differently than he had at the mall. Talking to the guy at the mall is not the same as finding the guy at your house. Of course he'd be completely dumbfounded, even scared, when he goes home to Gene talking to his mum. He had the upper hand at the mall, not so much here. Second, isn't that subversion the whole point? Jeff is not a villain, he's a cab driver. He's socially unaware at best, a loser at worst. He comes across as intimidating at the mall because of the context. They're in a public place and Gene realises he's been made, so he can be a bit of an idiot to him. But when Gene turns the tables on him, we see him for what he really is. Not a single word was changed in the script after the recast, which means that the character was supposed to be portrayed that way, regardless of the actor. So yeah, that summed it up pretty well, I thought. We also got some references to some pre-Gene things in this episode. For instance, the return of Marco's ring, and the scene where Saul tried to tell Heisenberg, "We are done." Thankfully for Gene, his "we are done" statement appeared to work this time.
We're done when I say we're done.
Now I need you to say it. We're done.
The fact that when this episode ends he is still wearing Marco's ring shows that despite the fact he may have left Saul Goodman on the shelf, he still carries part of him around. Saul isn't completely dead. We saw him go full on Saul in this episode when planning the heist. It reminded me of what Walter said in Breaking Bad when he told Skyler,
I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it.
Also, I thought it was a neat touch how we finally understand the teaser that came after point and shoot. After all that speculating, after all that, a happy ending turns out to just be him talking about his imaginary dog. This show is brilliant at subverting expectations. Anyway, that's all from me. Which guy did you think was the better Jeff? Jeff 1 or Jeff 2? Let me know in the comments. And again, if you could be so kind to like and subscribe, it would mean a lot. You can always unsubscribe at a later date. If you don't like where I'm posting, give me a chance. It's all I ask. See you guys around.